What up, man? It's your boy Richard with the Kingdom Hood Conversation pop-up. I just had to pop up today, man, and talk to you guys for a few minutes. I know that things have been quite chaotic, man, for the last few days over the George Floyd murder. And, man, it should have been because people are angry, man. I know I was just absolutely angry about what happened. And, you're watching TV and seeing a lot of peaceful protesters. And then on one side, you're seeing the looting and stealing and things like that, which I don't condone. But in these situations, people act up. We've seen this in riots before. And, that's kind of what takes place. People don't know how to respond to something that would happen. But there's been some good news today, man. All four officers have been charged. And that's kind of what we wanted. So now it's kind of like this wait and see game, which still, we've seen this before too, where officers have been charged and then they end up getting off or getting some light sentence, like the 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐈𝐒 case. So she walks into the wrong house and the black man is in his house and she shoots him in his underwear and gets 10 years. So I know there's still that fear out there with many people. We don't trust the justice system. But in this case, I really believe that we really have to trust the process and just let it run its course, and hopefully we'll get the results that we deserve. I'm glad they moved up that Chauvin's charges to second-degree murder, which carry a life sentence. And I'm not sure what the other guys have been charged with, but the fact is they are charged. And, there's video evidence, and then there's every other thing that hopefully we should get the result that we want. So now I was just thinking, and the reason I want to pop up is now that America is listening. We've had 85 riots since post-war, 1955. So that's what, an average of 1.2 riots a year. And black men are still getting shot down in the street. So a riot in itself has not been the total solution. And I believe it's not, because riots are moments. They're not movements. People riot, they loot, they protest, whatever it is. Everybody goes home. And black men are still getting killed because and I say that unapologetically is because it's a system that's allowing this. Racism is a system, and we can't just focus on the police, but we have to focus on the system that allows police to kill black men with absolute impunity. The fact that 99% of these cases are never charged because it's a system that allows that. Too many police agencies have broad powers. So we have to make sure that we attack the system. And I'm going to put my thoughts about what I think community policing should be. And I recommend that everybody that wants police reform should do the same. Because the whole point of me speaking to you now is you got the ear of America. Now, what the hell do you want? Black America, what do you want? Not stop killing black people, not, police reform and yelling out these top line, slogans. But in detail, what do you want? I was coming back from a dentist today, and this white lady came up to me. She was an older white lady, probably like in her 70s, probably in her late 70s, 80s. And she was staring at me. So I'm in El Segundo, right? So I'm like, oh, here we go. I got a barbecue Becky situation, So anyway, she walks up to me and says, hey, sir, I am so sorry for, the pain and the murder and the abuse that you people have been through at the hands of the police. And I was taken back by what she said, and I was just listening. I was like, wow, dang, I didn't know how to respond. I said, of course, I said, thank you, ma'am, and went on about my business. But that has never happened. I've never seen white people saying this has to stop. So as tragic as this situation is, it's going to be even more tragic if it doesn't change the complete trajectory of the racial system in America. We talk about a system of implicit and explicit bias. So if we don't, but the only way the system is going to change if people of color make a list of demands and make sure these politicians, the administrative branch, the policing agencies, make these changes that we demand. Now, white America can listen and say, hey, we understand. We want to help. Okay, now what do we do? Because I had another one of my old dentists is It's an older white woman. She has a dentist practice in Manhattan Beach. She reached out to me on Facebook and said, how can I help? And I really believe that's really all white America needs to do is sincerely say, how can I help? Once they say that, because this is the first time I've ever heard that. I mean, you can look at Sandra Bland, you can look at Tamir Rice, you can look at Freddie Gray, Orlando Castile. All those murders they were able to rationalize. And I'm not saying literally they say, okay, you know, it doesn't mean that the black man or woman got killed. Let's move on. But there was some rationalization that the masses were able to have. But this particular incident, you can't rationalize it. You can't find your way around it. It's flat out assassination before our eyes. So now we have the attention to attack a system. So it's up to us to make the demands and write them out. You want police reform? You want community policing? What does that look like? You know, we have a system that's based on racism and implicit and explicit bias. What does it look like to change that system? And what are the things that we want to attack? Is it wealth inequality? Is it health inequality, education inequality, workplace discrimination? What are all these things that we need to take, that we need to talk about, that we need to change? And it's going to take a long time, which makes it a moment. What makes it a movement. The difference between a moment and a movement is a movement takes sacrifice and consistency, voting on a federal level and a local level. We need to punch people in the face at the ballot box, not sitting around talking about the Democrats are taking advantage of our vote and I don't trust politicians and they all lie. That's a sorry, lame excuse. Okay, it's tired. And a lot of us, unfortunately, African Americans, are making that excuse about Democrats. Okay, so when it comes, and I'm going to say this unapologetically to my black brothers and everybody talking about the Democrats taking advantage of your vote. We grew up in the inner city, right? And if somebody's bullying you, you don't sit there and run home to your mama and say, he's taking advantage of me. You punch him in the face. So what's the difference in politics? We have to go to the box, punch these people in the face and say, look, this is my demand of you. And if you don't do it, your ass is out of here. Unapologetically. They will listen. The politicians will listen if we're coming to them collectively making a demand. So let's take advantage of this moment because it's going to be so tragic, man. If we see another brother after this shot down, unarmed black man shot down. And if we do, and we didn't do our part to change things and take advantage of this moment, it's just, his blood is just as much in our hands as it is the white mob that shot him, like with Ahmaud Arbery, or the cop that killed George Floyd. We are just as complicit if we don't take advantage and take advantage of this moment and make sure we push for legislation change, locally and federally. All right. So, man, I know you guys are mad. I was mad. I'm still mad. But don't let anger get in the way of progress. What can we do to progress for and make sure this doesn't happen again to any of us? That's just my pop-up, man. I know I rambled on, but I just was feeling this, man. I just want to share. And all you brothers on your Facebook page, let's join together and say, hey, this is what we want. This is what we believe. This is what policing, community policing looks like. This is what racial inequality looks like to me to make it better. This is what the income and wealth inequality, how do we close that gap between white America and black America? How do we do that? What does that look like to us? How do we attack these systems? So let's mount up, man. Let's get ready. Let's work together with our white brothers. It's not us against them. It's nothing like that. It's not us against them. It's everybody. We're white, we're black, Asian, Indian, in any other race. It's all of us against racism, not white against black or anything like that. We don't want that. We all want to work together and make sure we're attacking this system that's been around a very, very long time and has really stopped African Americans from progressing. And you know, in Latino, my brothers as well have been through a lot. All right, so let's get active, man. Let's get busy, and let's get America to live out its true creed that all men are created equal. And in a constitutional democracy, we can live freely, we can live safely, and everybody can pursue happiness, not have to worry about, being shot down or terrorized, or worry about, some these systems of implicit and explicit bias. All right, that's it, man. I'm done rambling. We'll talk to you guys again on Friday, 3 p.m. God bless y'all. Talk soon.